Welcome to Opinions in 10, online posts and biblical opinions in under 10 minutes. Starting now. Okay, today's post comes from Aurora Spirit 5. Am I the jerk for bringing my own food to a family fest? 2 years ago, I discovered that gluten was one of my migraine triggers. So is sugar. The past 2 years has been a struggle to adapt my new eating habits, to not get migraines along with stress. I have a chronic migraine and it's been a hell for the past 15 years. I've tried so many prescriptions from my doctor, got scanned in my brain for blood clot, tried everything to ease my pain. The cold caps, Zoc relief, massage, cold bath, NADA, and so on. But nothing ever really happened. Then 2 years ago, I went to a retreat weekend. The food they served was gluten and lactose free. I've felt the very best I've been in a long time. So when I get home, I studied recipes for gluten-free food. I went to my doctor's, took a test to see if I was allergic to the gluten, but it showed negative, and she said that gluten could be one of my triggers to migraine. So I searched for food with no gluten and began a new lifestyle. I also began to bring my own food to the family gatherings at birthdays and holidays. My mother-in-law got very offended and asked if I didn't like her food. Of course not. I will admit the first year was a struggle to adapt, and I did give in sometimes when I was offered a delicious cake with gluten and sugar. What can I say? I'm only human, and I've been used to regular food for 40 years. My husband and I have many times explained to our families what gluten does to me, but his family doesn't really get it. So I bring my own food, and it's sometimes 10 times more delicious, and some of our family members wants to taste a little. And then the last time we got to my father-in-law's birthday party, I saw that they had warmed some gluten-free buns, and I got so happy. But my mother-in-law was quick to say that they were not for me. It was for our niece. Her first grandchild, she's 24, my husband's niece. She had just found out that she's allergic to gluten, and if she eats gluten, it can be so bad that she can't have children, she replied. Luckily, I had my own gluten-free bread with me, and I said, I'll just eat some of my own bread then. And my mother-in-law was quick to say that she'll warm up some more buns for me, then with an irritated gesture. My husband heard it all and defended me by saying, "Oh, so just because my wife is in her mid-40s and we're done having kids, then it's okay for her to eat gluten buns." He was so mad, and I was so sad that they didn't take me very seriously for my health. So am I the jerk to bring my own food? Don't get me wrong, I do love my in-laws and they love me, but sometimes they can be a little too much blindsided. Okay, well, I'm not going to excuse anyone's behavior in my reply. An interaction is still an interaction, no matter the cause, but I think that there is a reason that your mother-in-law is behaving the way that she is. I obviously don't know your mother-in-law by anything other than the post that you've written, so I'm only going off of the information that I have. The reason that I think she's acting like this is that for all of human history, food has not only been sustenance, but a social event. The kids may go to play or go off to school, the father may be out working or providing for the family, but come mealtime, everyone is gathered at the same table eating the same meal, discussing their day and checking in on each other. A meal is what holds the family together. And while the kids may be playing and dad may be providing, a mother had a very special duty in preparing that meal for her family. She provided that which would invariably hold the family together. You might ask, well, what about a potluck? Those can be pretty special too. Yes, a potluck is fun, but it carries a different kind of meaning and symbolism because what you're saying with a potluck is that the community cares for each other. With a family meal, The message is that we are all in this together as part of the same family, with the same identity and the same goal. A family is, or should be at least, a stronger and tighter bond than that of the greater community. So the message that she seems to be taking from the fact that you have a need to eat your own food is that you don't want to be part of the community she sustains. She takes it as a strong rejection. But in life, things don't always line up the way that they should. In this case, as you would admit, it would be ideal if you could sit down with them and eat the same meal. I don't get the impression at all that you would object to that in the least bit. But this is a matter of your health. There's a cost to be weighed here in regards to your well-being, and being miserable for long periods of time afterwards is just too high of a price to be paid for enjoying what I'm sure is delicious food. Migraines are no joke. Now, why does she make an exception for her granddaughter but not for you? Well, the truth is that no matter how fair or unfair it may seem, she's always going to feel more of a family affinity for her granddaughter than for her daughter-in-law. Just like you may have a great deal of familial care for a brother or a sister-in-law, but you would feel a far greater familial connection to your son or your daughter. Solomon may be able to help your mother-in-law here. In Proverbs 17:27, he says, "He that has knowledge spares his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit." In other words, being understanding of people cools your temper. Whether a person is right or wrong, understanding why they feel the way that they do is going to help with restraining anger about things. In this case, there are foods that you just can't eat. I have people in my life who bring their own food to family events for the same reason. It's nothing to be angry about. It's a time to exercise an understanding that life just doesn't happen ideally sometimes. That's it. That'll be it for today. If you like this podcast, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. God bless.